Dear viewers, welcome back to my channel. And today's discussion is about absurd drama. Absurd drama is also called the theater of the absurd. This is a genre of play written primarily in the European or Western literature. Okay, and in today's video, our prime focus will be on what is theater of the absurd and when it was originated, who were the pioneers, and how many works are written in this genre of literature. Okay, now before any more delays, now let's start the discussion. Now, first we have to know what is absurd. Okay, absurd's literal meaning is nonsense, which means it has no sense, or which it also means that something which is meaningless, which has no significant value. That is called absurd. Means it doesn't make sense in simple words. Okay, now, through the theater of the absurd or the absurd drama or absurd plays, the playwright or the author has tried to depict a story about something which is not in a traditional way of story writing. In absurd drama, you will not see any kind of character development, or you will not see any kind of even plot development. You will see that in absurd drama, characters are same, they are not evolving, and the story also not going in a very fast way. The story will be in a very lazy way. It does not go in a uniform way. This all kinds of things you will get in absurd drama. Okay, let's begin the discussion. The theater of the absurd, this thing I have taken from Wikipedia. You will also get it if you search there. I think you all are aware of it. The theater of the absurd, this is a post World War II designation of particular plays of absurdist fiction written by a number of primarily European playwrights in the late 1950s. Okay, here the theater of the absurd or the absurd play or the absurd drama. This is a genre of play which were which are written after the Great World Wars or after the World War II. Okay, and why this is called absurd? If we try to find out, then we will also we can also assume that after the Great World Wars, people people have lost their belief in God, or people have lost their meaning of life, or what is life, why we are living this life, why we are going to somewhere, why we are following this religion, or why we are going to work, why we are going to school or job or any kind of thing. Means why we are doing these kinds of things. If we have to die one day, or if we have to die uh, without any kind of signal, then means why we are living this life. Means what, does it matter, or means uh, is this even a significant thing to live in a disciplined way, or to follow spiritual path, or to follow truth, or to follow honesty? These all conflicts are magnificently portrayed through these kinds of theater of the absurd plays. Okay. Okay. This means through this play, the writers of the play also depicts that what is the meaning of life. Okay, means the way we are living, is this the way of living life, or is there something else that we should live, or means what is this, what is this art, what is this society, means why we are doing so much hard work, and one day we will be dead by a war, like great world wars, and by nuclear bomb, or by any kinds of means human made disasters. Means these all things means these things are depicted here. And so the people of that age, after the great two world wars, then people have thought that this life does not make sense, this world also does not make sense. So uh, everything is means temporary, nothing is permanent, and these all things is worthless, means we should not live life in a very coherent way. Okay. Okay. We were reading that the theater of the absurd is a post World War II designation for particular place of absurdist fiction written by a number of primarily European playwrights in the late 1950s. And these kinds of plays, theater of the absurd or absurd drama or absurd plays, were written during the 1950s or in the late 1950s, and these were composed especially by European playwrights, not by our Indian, Asian, or even American, African, or any other regional literature. Okay. So, it is also a term for the style of theater the plays represent. The play focus largely on ideas of existentialism and express what happens when human existence lacks meaning or purpose and communication breaks down. Through these kinds of play, the playwright they try to mainly focus largely on ideas of existentialism. Existentialism means what is the value of our existence, means if we do not exist, if you die, then what will happen, what is the value of it, these all kinds of things, that is called existentialism. If you want to know more, then you can search it on Google, or you can read the books based on these kinds of philosophy. This is a kind of philosophy, and it expresses what happens when human existence lacks meaning or purpose of communication breaks down. The structure of the play is typically a round shape, and with the finishing point the same as the starting point. And in this kinds of play, we will see that the starting point of the play is as same as the ending point of the play, or the finishing point of the play, means the progress of the story is never found, and the character development also cannot be found. Okay. And logical construction and argument give way to irrational and illogical speech, and to ultimate conclusion silence. And through these kinds of plays, the playwrights they try to describe that human uh, human have lost their means faith in spiritualism, and they have lost their life in they have lost their belief system in love, kindness, this all kinds of things. And everything they say, everything they do, everything they see, these all have become irrational, and it all has it all seem that this all world is full of illusion, and it does not seem logical, and at last this all means this all chaosness at last reach at silence in means it all vanishes into silence, and these things are portrayed in these kinds of play. Got it? Okay, now let's move on. This is a famous play, as we all know, Waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot is a play written by Samuel Beckett, and this is one of the most important or one of the most remarkable plays written by Samuel Godot in absurd drama genre, or in theater of the absurd uh, genre play. Okay. uh, Now let's move on. Now let's try to know little bit about the origin of this word. Critic Martin Aslin has coined the term in his 1960 essay, The Theatre of the Absurd, which begins by focusing on the playwrights Samuel Beckett, Arthur Adamov, Eugene Ionesco. Aslin says that their plays have a common denominator, the absurd, a word that Aslin defines with a quotation from Ionesco. Absurd is that which has not purpose or goal or objective. The French philosopher Albert Camus, in his 1942 essay Myth of Sisyphus, describes the human situation as meaningless and absurd. So, critic Martin Esslin has coined this term, absurd drama or theater of the absurd, in his 1960 essay, The Theater of the Absurd. After that, playwrights like Samuel Beckett, Arthur Adamov, Eugene Ionesco, they have tried to focus their play in this genre. Okay, and uh, the absurd playwrights' main focus were, as I have already delineated, that their main focus is means this world is absurd. Human existence or even human life, human belief, whatever human does, these all things are absurd, and this has no purpose, no goal, no objective. These all things are made by humans, and it will be gone, it will be vanished, it will be means doomed after humans are gone. So this is absurd, this is meaningless, whatever we are doing, this is absurd. This kinds of philosophy is practiced by the absurd playwrights or absurd dramatists or absurd literary dramas. Got it? Okay, now let's move on. The absurd in this place takes the form of man's reaction to a world apparently without meaning, or man as a puppet controlled or menaced by invisible outside force. So, the absurd dramatist or the absurd plays, it believes or it considers that humans are means they are nothing before invisible or outside force. They are just a puppet. So they're all things are controlled by someone else, and so our life is nothing, it is meaningless, though we human try to give meaning by different works, that by if I become a scientist, then I will try to change the way the world was once was um, it was once experienced, but I want to change that experience. Means these kinds of things, these are just a figment of imagination made by own made by human itself, and in reality it means our life is purposeless, our life is goalless. These all are our own creation of human being, that my life has this purpose, my life has this goal, my philosophy is this. These all are meaningless according to the absurd dramatists. Okay, and this style of writing was first popularized by the Eugene Ionesco play The Bal Soprano, which was published or first premiered in 1950. Although the term is applied to a wide range of plays, some characteristics coincide. or in many of the plays, broad comedy, often similar to vaudeville, mixed with horrific or tragic images, characters caught in hopeless situation, forced to do repetitive or meaningless actions, dialogue full of cliches, wordplay, and nonsense plots that are cyclical or absurdly expensive, either or parody or dismissal of realism and the concept of well-made play. So if you read the absurd genre play, then you will get that the characters are always trapped in hopeless situation, and they are always forced to do repetitive or meaningless actions, and their dialogues are full of cliches, wordplay, and nonsense, and their plots are always cyclical, or it is absurdly expansive. It is either a parody or a dismissal of realism, which is kind of a concept of well-made play. And these kinds of thing, these kinds of ingredients you will get in absurd drama. Got it? And this thing you will also get in Waiting for Godot, written by Samuel Beckett. That's why I have given you a little insight before making a video on Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. There you will get this whole thing, whatever I have discussed, whatever I have tried to tell you here, these all things you will get in that play. Okay. And this is the episode drama. But before ending the play, now let's try to know little more about this episode drama. Okay. In his introduction to the book Absurd Drama 1965, Esselin wrote, "The theater of the absurd attacks the comfortable certainties of religious or political orthodoxy. It aims to shock its audience out of complacency, to bring it face to face with the harsh facts of the human situation as these writers see it. But the challenge behind this message is anything but one of despair. It is a challenge to accept the human condition as it is, in all its mystery or and absurdity, and to bear it with dignity, nobly, responsibly, precisely because there are no easy solutions to the mysteries of existence, because ultimately man is alone in a meaningless world. The sharing of easy solutions of comforting illusions may be painful, but it leaves behind it a sense of freedom and relief. And that is why, in the last resort, the theater of the absurd does not provoke tears of despair, but the laughter of liberation." Um Here, the critic Martin Esslin has tried to mention about the certain qualities or features of absurd dramatics or absurd plays. Here he says that the theater of the absurd or the absurd drama or play, they have tried to attack the comfortable certainties of religious or political orthodoxy. Means why people are so religious, and why people and means why people always try to focus on religious and political orthodoxy, when the life itself meaningless, when life itself absurd. Means why people are so obsessive about it, why people do not want to live in peace, or why people do not want to live in harmony. These kinds of thing he has attacked. Okay. Means the writers of absurd drama, they attack. And through their absurd drama, the playwrights also tried to challenge to accept the human condition as it is. Means our human life is like this, we should not try to change our condition, and we should not try to find meaning in this absurdity, according to the absurd drama. But according to me, I think that though no doubt our life is sometimes it is absurd, but we have to find a meaning through our work, through our purpose, through our goal, through our any kinds of things that we do to feel alive. Okay. It is just a play of drama. It just means genre of drama. which is written by your European playwright, but our philosophy is different. Okay, you don't have to follow this or that, but you just try to think from your own mindset and try to have your own perspective. I have just said my own opinion. Okay, and the absurd dramatists, they believe that as our life itself is absurd, is and means absurd, is in absurd circumstance, so our life is not a tragedy, rather it is a comedy, and these all things you will get in the play, means in this kinds of play also you will not see that someone is crying out of pain for this tragedy, for the human tragedy. You will not get human tragedy here. Rather you will get the existentialism comedy in these kinds of plays. Okay. Okay, now let's try to know little bit about, means uh, how, or means how many works are written in this genre. Without any delay, let's move on to here. Okay, number one is G. Zinet. I may have pronounced wrong, and if I have pronounced wrong, you can also cross verify. The Mates, it was premiered in 1947. It is also a major work written in this kinds of genre. And Eugene Ionesco's The Bal Soprano, it was first performed on May 11, 1950. This is also a part of absurd drama. Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot was first performed on 5 January 1953. This is also a crucial creation of absurd drama. And in 1957, Janet's The Balcony, this was produced in London at the Arts Theatre. This is also a famous work written in this kind of genre. And you will get The Room, Harold Pinter's The Room, this is also, and the Harold Pinter's The Birthday Party, this is also, and Edward Albee's The Jew Story, this is also, and Samuel Beckett's Crab's Last Step, this is also a notable play written in this genre. And Fernando Arabal's Picnic on the Battlefield, this is also a play written in this kind of genre. And there you will get many more. Jeanette's The Blacks, then Ionesco's Rhinoceros, then Samuel Beckett's Happy Days, and Albee's Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Pinter's The Homecoming, Peter Weiss's Morat-Sad, Tom Stoppard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, and Arabal's Automobile Graveyard. There are many more. Okay, I have tried to tell you about this thing because these things are asked in many in your entrance exam for your MA, for your BA, or for PhD, for MPhil, and for interviews, and especially for your net and SLAT. And thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have uh, got a little insight on this topic. And for further reading, you must read the you must read the play, means about this kind of play. Then you will get to know what kinds of elements are there in the absurd drama. Okay, thank you so much for watching video. And this video is just for education purpose only and information purpose only. This is not a research video. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye.